What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV the day after the night before. What an emotional day it was at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium yesterday. And we also got a nice little Champions League thumping as well to talk about. So Spurs on the right track, I would say. 2 wins on the bounce now. 2 clean sheets on the bounce. Haven't conceded a goal at home in the Champions League.
Over 2 XG.
Over 2 XG, 2 games running as well.
For the footballer nerds out there.
Don't tell Danny Kyriakou. Don't tell him, man. So we have got a lot of things to get into today, and I cannot wait to talk about the game and talk about the return of Son Heung-min yesterday, which there wasn't a dry eye. Well, it wasn't a dry heart in the house, let's say that, because it was definitely emotional. But we do have a Tottenham update to bring to you first, and first and foremost, we're going to talk about this article that was on Bloomberg. Was it yesterday?
It was actually just before the game, they released it.
So basically the key takeaways from the article are that the Lewis Family Trust is conducting an accounting review into former chairman Daniel Levy's long tenure as part owner and custodian of Tottenham Hotspur. The review covers all commercial aspects of the club's operation, including sponsorship agreements and whether player and commercial contracts and payments were fairly valued. The decision signals a further deterioration in the relationship between Levy and the ownership group, which removed him as chairman in September after a fallout over the club's direction and potential investment and takeover offers. However, the article does state that there is no indication of any wrongdoing from Daniel Levy. I don't really think
wrongdoing from an accounting perspective.
Yeah,
from a moral footballing perspective, a lot of
that's a whole different can of worms, mate. I don't really think there's much in this, to be honest. I think if someone's running the club for such a long period and new people take over, I think it's something that they just have to do.
I think the main thing is the main takeaway from the review will be have the contracts and the player value and the player kind of transfer fees being of fair value, and how could we have been able to spend more, I guess, is the question. I'm guessing when it says fair value. Or maybe have we spent too much? I guess that's also part of the question. But when you look at the accounting part of it, obviously the Levy family have pledged to get Spurs competing and invest heavily in the playing squad. That's kind of been the word from the club. We want to be winning games more often. So when it comes to this accounting, obviously Tottenham and Levy has been accused of being too frugal, not spending enough, or maybe not at the right times, and all this different stuff. So when they say in the article, the commercial and club operations, I think that's going to come out and say he's done a great job. I'm guessing, and more of the same. Like, we don't really have a problem with the commercial aspect of how much we've been.
Unless they find he was taking backhanders.
Yeah, which I wouldn't be totally surprised. But and all those sponsorship agreements, I'm guessing that what comes into that as well is the naming rights.
Yeah, his failure to land the naming rights.
So that obviously comes into the review. But I think for fans' point of view, I think the main thing is whether player contracts have been of fair value. Obviously the wages go into that as well. Could Spurs have spent more on wages? Are the players currently in the squad, do their contracts represent fair market value for their quality? And I think that obviously probably goes into it. And if they do an accounting review and if they compare the quality of player in our team compared to maybe the same quality of player in other teams who are looking to compete with, is it fair market value for what they're paying? Maybe he'll come up and say, no, they should be paid more. Maybe, the players that we have compared to some of our rivals, they're on much higher wages, and the players in our team, doesn't represent how good they are, potentially. So that's maybe the main takeaway from the review. We'll see. Maybe they'll come out and say, our players are rubbish and they're paid over market value, but I hope they don't come out with that. Maybe they do.
I would probably say, for the place that Spurs want to be in and the Lewis family want us to be in, they're probably going to say that, we're paying too low wages, but we paid too high transfer fees for the quality of player that we brought in. That's kind of what I think they're going to think about the whole situation, and maybe because of the wages, we won't be able to attract the kind of higher caliber player. But look, I think all in all, I don't think this is anything surprising. I think it's probably just standard practice of new people running the club, and they just need to do a review on everything in and around, from commercial side to the playing style. Literally everything needs to be reviewed because Levy has been basically running the show for 25 years. So, I just think it's a bunch of standard practice, to be honest.
Yeah, they've already done a review, didn't they? They said on the sporting side.
So this is off the back of that, they're saying in the article.
It's going to be a different, I read the article, it's going to be a different kind of third party who's doing this review, which makes sense. You don't want to same people reviewing the sporting side of the club compared to the commercial and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, no, it is standard practice, but I do wonder what conclusions they'll come out with when it comes to...
I don't even know if we're even going to find out the final
No, I don't. I'm not saying...
Won't.
We probably won't, but I do wonder internally what conclusions they'll come out with when it comes to whether the player contracts have been a fair value, because that's been a big topic of conversation for Tottenham fans about the wages that we pay, and whether they'll come to the conclusion that, yes, we have been underpaying, or whether they'll come to the conclusion actually the player contracts have been fair. It'll be interesting to see what the conclusion is there.
Yeah. We'll have to. Well, I was about to say we'll have to wait and see, but we probably won't ever find out. But look,
the only way we'd find out is maybe they start giving bigger contracts, but we'll have to wait and see on that.
Yeah, I think that's a must, to be honest, if we want to attract the caliber of player that we want to attract. But look, let's get into some potential incoming transfers, because the first one we're going to talk about is that Antoine Semeno, once again, as Tom Barkley did an update, I think a day or two ago now, and he said that Tottenham are one of a clutch of clubs showing major interest in Antoine Semeno. However, Semeno would be hesitant to join the North Londoners, as he was in the summer when Tottenham were keen to buy him then. It is believed that he would be far more tempted should an offer arrive from one of Manchester City or Liverpool, or even table toppers Arsenal. And he also says that Semeno is tempted by a move from Arsenal and has distanced himself from a switch to Tottenham Hotspur. So I think it's time to run away now, get this guy off your radar. And this is, if Spurs go and pursue this deal, this is just Eberechi Eze waiting to happen all over again.
Who's this guy? Is this guy plays for Brentford, right? Or Brighton? I can't remember. I don't even know.
Never heard of him.
Never wanted this guy. Just some... he's a glorified Adama Traore.
Odebear's better than him anyway.
Odebear's much better than him. The ceiling of Tell is much higher than Semeno. So I don't know why people even wanted him. He's not great. So
what's overrated. A Semeno?
What is a Semeno, Antoine? Rubbish. No, but in all seriousness, that was the fear, of course, when you're going for a player like him, that this might be the case. Obviously, being a boyhood Arsenal fan, we've been here before, so yeah, if that's the case, just move on. Don't even bother trying. Go for Ndai, go for someone else who might be more interested, because if he's not jumping at the chance to maybe join Tottenham, give him the chance either in January or the summer, then there's no point pushing for it. We want players that want to be here, and if he's got eyes on other clubs, don't need him.
Exactly. So less time spent on that rumour, the better, in my opinion. But that's the situation on Antoine Semeno. The next one's fairly interesting. Not the most reliable source, but it could be something in it, hopefully, anyway, as Dean Jones says that Tottenham are interested in Eintracht Frankfurt left-back Nathaniel Brown. Man City, Arsenal and Manchester United have also made checks on the 22-year-old. Nathaniel Brown having quite a season, I'm led to believe, at left-back for Eintracht Frankfurt. We'll see it firsthand, won't we, in about a month's time when we do play Frankfurt. Did he play in the semi-finals against us?
He was definitely in the squad. I can't remember if he started both legs. I think he definitely started one of them at least.
But he's a... Look, I haven't seen him play too much, but I do know that he's, building his reputation in a massive way right now.
There's a lot of rumours about him. I think he can play both sides as well. I think he's a left back, but I believe he can play both sides. And I think he's highly sought after. I think teams really want him. Teams are really looking at him this season. I think at the end of last season, in the summer, there was a lot of rumours flying around about interest from potential Premier League teams. Obviously, we need a left back. Doggy's injury, keeping him out till January now, and his injury record since coming to Spurs has been absolutely atrocious, and he just can't seem to stay fit. So I think a left back like Nathaniel Brown, I believe he's very quick, and I think someone. Look, we need to obviously do the recruitment properly, but I think this guy seems like one who's young. He's up and coming. Could get him for a decent price. And maybe he's one who could solve our problems.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the stats. I mean, He's only ever played at left back. He's played one game at centre back in his career and 3 games at central midfield. But the rest but they kind of play a wing back system, don't they, Frankfurt? So it'll be very similar to like kind of a Pedro Porro. He only played like wing back before he joined Spurs. Do we want a kind of specialist fullback, left back, or you have?
Depends on how interchangeable they are. Yes, he's only played left wing back. Does that mean he can only play wing back? Like Porro, as you say, came in as a wing back. But he's plays right back now is fine. Spence came in as a wing back from Forest, and he plays full back. So sometimes there are players
as well.
Doki came as wing. Sometimes there are players who are very specialist wing backs. For example, like when we signed Perisic, like you couldn't play him as a left back. He's very much, if you're going to play him in a full-back position, it has to be wing-back because he's never going to work as a left-back because he's a natural winger. Same as like Amad Diallo for Man United. He's a wing-back there, but you can never play him at left wing-back or right wing-back. But someone like him, I think he's a natural defender. So I do think just because he plays wing-back doesn't mean he can interchange.
Just looking at his stats, he's had 2 seasons at Frankfurt now. In the last 2 seasons, he's got 4 goals and 11 assists. Pretty decent numbers, isn't it?
Very good numbers, attacking-wise. Well, look, we need another option there. I think fullback should be a priority now. Given that Udog's unreliability, even before that injury, we really needed one. So the fact that he again is getting injured is a massive issue for us, and it's going to put more pressure on Spence, more pressure on Porro, and we just need that extra option. Yeah,
I've just seen that he actually wasn't eligible for the Europa League last season, and they put him in the squad for the knockouts. And he started both games against us.
Started both games, yeah. I remember him being in the squad.
So yeah, that's the situation on Nathaniel Brown. Look, not the most reliable source, but I think it's something that Spurs should be looking into for sure. With we have to bring in a left back surely in January. We can't keep relying on Udogie the way we're doing if he keeps breaking down and getting injured.
Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, Spence has upped his game last couple of games, which is really good.
Yeah, it's just not enough though, is it?
But we need the reality is we need to be able to rotate him as well. We can't have a situation where we've got. It seems like when we've got Udogie there as well, we want to play him all the time because he's much better. Well, he has been anyway. But Spencer's come in now; he's going to have to play every game probably for the foreseeable. So we just need another option. So hopefully we can kind of sort that issue out.
Yeah, someone in the comments here says that he actually played left wing against us, not left back.
Left wing.
So that's interesting. Last report we have for you is a name that you'll all be familiar with. It goes by the name of Troy Parrott. And Fijajes, again, not the most reliable source,
I love Fijajes.
says that Tottenham are interested in signing Troy Parrott and are prepared to pay €35 million to sign the striker. The 22-year-old has scored 20 goals in 18 games in all competitions this season. What monstrous numbers that is. And Spurs have a 20% sell-on clause, so we can get him cheaper than pretty much anyone else that anyone's interested in him. Not for me, I don't think. I know his numbers are great.
Troy in?
Nah, not for me. I know he's just had a worldie of a game for Ireland as well. So he's doing it on the international stage, doing it in the Dutch league, but nah, not for me.
I mean, it would be some sort of fairy tale if he does seem to come back and Harry Kane-esque hit the ground running and become one of the best strikers in Europe. But I don't think... Look, to be fair, he is scoring goals regularly in Holland. He did it last season. For the last couple seasons now in the Dutch league. So I wonder if at some point he's going to be ready for a step up from that team, from RZ, maybe to a better team in Holland or another league. I don't know. Is he ready to lead the line for Tottenham? I don't know if there's evidence for that. But he seems to be growing. His career seems to be getting up and running now. So I'm delighted for him. As you say, he hit the headlines for Ireland, scoring a hat-trick in what was an unbelievable kind of day for him on that day. And he also
dragged them to the playoffs himself, pretty much.
He scored against Portugal as well, didn't he? Was it
twice?
He did.
Yeah, he scored twice. Yeah,
he scored twice against Portugal.
He scored 5 in his last 2 games for Ireland.
So this guy, he's definitely developing. This isn't the striker that we sold. He's a much better player now. So that's really great. And he seems to be on track to becoming a really good striker in European football. Whether, is he better than what we have currently? Is he an upgrade on that? Is he ready to lead the line? I don't know if there's enough evidence at the moment to suggest he's, if we're looking to compete with the very best, does Troy Parrott drag us there? Is he going to be scoring regular goals in the Premier League? I guess the jury's out on that. But then again, if he does get a move to a better league and start scoring, but then again, our release clause or whatever, our clause would have been outdated by then. So we'd have to pay big money. But yeah, I don't know if I would trust Parrott to lead the line for us at the moment, even though he's doing very well.
Yeah, I just look at him and I still think like he needs to build himself a bit more physicality to play in the Premier League. I think, you know, it's all very well and good doing it for in the Dutch league. We've seen many strikers do it in the Dutch league over the years and not transfer it into the Premier League. Look, you've got to give him credit for doing it on the international stage, and, you know, at this moment it's kind of like a one-off against Portugal, that kind of level of opposition. So yeah, I don't know. I just look at him and I don't feel like he's going to really make it in the Premier League. I'm just not sure of it.
Yeah, I agree. I think the jury would be out on that, unfortunately. But
credit to him. You've got to give him massive credit for leaving Tottenham. And I don't think he gets this Ireland call up, and I don't think he shows this form for Ireland if he stayed at Tottenham. Mm-hmm. So I think that leaving Tottenham was the best thing for him, to be honest.
And I wonder if Dane will look at that and think, maybe that's what I need to do.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But I look at Troy compared to Dane, and I think like Dane looks more kind of like more physically ready for the Premier League than Troy.
I don't, maybe, but I think Troy's obviously a better player, but he's better
older.
And he gets more chances.
Troy's more ahead, of course, in terms of what he's done in the game, and there's no doubt about it, but I'm just talking about their physicality and their build. I think Dane might be more kind of Premier League, kind of more physicality.
Yeah, potentially. I don't really know. I don't really know what Troy's... I don't really watch him week in, week out. I've only seen him, obviously, on the international stage.
He looks very slender, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, but, you know, he got 2 goals against Portugal. Portugal are no mugs, are they?
True.
So, like, if he was completely not ready physically, you know, would he have done that? I don't know how physically ready he is, but he's a good finisher, and you can definitely see that, and he definitely has that knack of being in the right place at the right time. But maybe you're right. Maybe I'm
right. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows?
Know,
we will never know until he comes back to the Premier League and tries it again. But I think he's doing very well for where he's at right now, and you've got to give him credit.
Junior Muketsi says, Troy is a unit. He is not slender. Look him up.
When I watch him play, that's what I feel like. But maybe I haven't watched him enough.
Maybe you're just thinking too much about his Spurs displays.
Nah, it's not even that. I'm talking about recent times. I'm talking about even watching him score those 5 goals on the international stage, even watching him for AZ Alkmaar, even against us, you know? So, yeah, look, he could turn out to be a very good player. 23 years of age, so he's still very young. Nah.
No loans?
He needs to... I think he needs to build himself in better leagues, keep working himself up the leagues. Maybe go to the Bundesliga next. I think the Bundesliga will be very good for him.
Makes sense.
If he goes and smashes it in the Bundesliga, then I'll have, you know, then there's a conversation to be had there. But... yeah, look, that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below. Would you like to see Troy Parrott back at the football club? And let us know about Nathaniel Brown, the left back as well. Do you think that's someone that Spurs could potentially target in this January transfer window? But that is your Tottenham update. Big up to everyone in the comments joining us. We've got just over 400 people here with us. Like and subscribe, people. We've got a lot to talk about, and we're going to get into the match yesterday. Tottenham 3, Slavia Prague 0. And first of all, I've got to say, like, those bloody Slavia Prague fans, they were something else last night. Apparently they were blocking off the high road before the game yesterday. They gave me the game all synchronized. Half of the away end was red, half the away end was right. Halfway through, they all started holding up like half red and half white. It was a sight to behold. They were shaking the stadium.
Scarves out.
Yeah, the scarves. At the end of the game, we were doing our match review. The stadium was empty. But all of them were still there.
Yeah, they were buzzing. They were loving it. The players were going over their leading chants. It was actually a sight to behold. I wish some of that could be taken into our club and have
it all seemed very synchronized, didn't it?
Yeah, it was great. And I think that kind of culture, clearly for them, it's like you back your team through thick and thin, and you go away, lose 3-0, but you show pride for your team. And unfortunately, we've obviously spoken about that in our club and in the Premier League, and that because we're so kind of results based, because we pay so much money.
It's the expectancy, isn't it?
That's it. There's set expectations. We will never have what I saw yesterday with Slavia, unfortunately. Obviously, we have great away fans, and I'm not saying like I don't think our fans are good in their own right, but that real culture of just like having that pride in your team no matter what, that seems to have obviously been lost with our fans, and I think a lot of English fans.
So look, credit to the Slavia Prague fans yesterday. Really turned up in their numbers and made a big racket at the stadium last night. So obviously we were there last night, and what a night it was. And not just the football. I think let's talk about Sonny, because Sonny was back in N17 last night. We all saw him, the pictures and the videos of him at the mural a couple of hours before we even got there last night. We got there quite early as well, but as soon as
people there,
as soon as we got there, we headed straight to the mural, which I thought was fantastic. The detail on it, the pictures were perfect. I think the way it's been done is fantastic. A lot of people questioning the kind of location of it. From where we go into the stadium, it's like quite far away from the south stand, isn't it? So you've got to walk past the stadium, past the road that leads to White Hart Lane Station, and it's there on the wall.
Basically opposite the bricklayers.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just opposite the bricklayers. But I think just as the mural itself, I think it's absolutely fantastic. And the high road now is starting to look decent. You know, you've got Ledley King on one side, you've got Harry Kane bang in the middle, you've got Sonny on the other side. We just need a few statues popped up here and there and everywhere, and it's starting to look a lot better.
Who's next to get a mural? Who'd be your prediction?
Next to get a mural, Ben Davis.
Ben Davis, the Ben Davis mural. I guess he'd be the only candidate right now in the team. But no, the Sonny mural is fantastic. I think it's obviously got his iconic celebration and the trophy lift. Apparently, he had a big say. I think he had advised them what kind of pictures to use. He said that picture of him lifting the trophy, that's his favourite one. And so I'm so glad we have that, and we have that just piece of history there to pay tribute to him, because he deserves it, and that's the standing he has now within our club. He's an absolute legend, and I'm delighted that they've put that up, and that's such a great thing to see now. And as you say, it adds to a collection of murals now we have down the high road, which hopefully down the years there'll be many more, but that one's a really special one. And to see him coming back to the stadium was it was a long time coming. We was always been a topic of conversation ever since he left. When are we going to get to say goodbye to him? Is he going to come back in person? Because kind of leaving how he did was kind of hard to take. You know, going straight to LA from Korea. That was always going to be something that the fans always wanted. So it was a great moment, wasn't it?
It was fantastic. It really was. Really emotional. The way they did it as well, with the highlight kind of reel, and then you had him coming out the car. It was like a WWE walk-on or something like that. But yeah, just seeing him come out onto the pitch and his speech, I think it could have been done a little bit better, to be honest. Look, it was
from the heart, wasn't it? Completely.
It was completely from the heart, but I felt like he kind of got lost in his words a little bit, and I think he wanted to say a lot more than he actually said. And I felt like I said it to you last night, but I felt like he should have done what he did before the game and then come out at half-time and done like a proper interview with Paul Coy. I thought there should have been more, like you mentioned yesterday, more stuff around the stadium. I know there was all branding everywhere, and that was great. But, a lot of fans calling for a TIFO yesterday. Maybe there was not enough time to arrange it or anything, because it was only got announced last week. I just thought they could have involved the fans a bit more.
Yeah, I think a TIFO would have been really, or even a massive flag or something. Just something, so the fans can show their appreciation. But at the end of the day, maybe it was something that was short notice, so there's only so much you can do. But I felt there was just a little bits maybe missing. Maybe he could have come out with the trophy instead of, I know he got given something, didn't he? I don't know what it was, for commemorative.
It was like some golden cockerel,
which is nice, really great. Which is really great. But at the end of the day, the most important thing was he was there in person. All the fans got to say goodbye to him, and it was touching. He says, "I hope Spurs fans never forget me. You always be in my heart." All the nice things people say when they leave. So that was really touching moment. He was spending after the game about 10 minutes to 15 minutes, maybe longer, I don't know, but he was basically out in his seat just waving goodbye to all the fans and showing his appreciation. So that was a really nice moment as well. So hopefully there's a bit of closure there for a lot of Tottenham fans who felt like they never got to say goodbye. The only thing was, the ticket sales were really poor yesterday. I mean, I would have thought with Sonny, going to be there in person, you'd have thought that would have boosted sales. Was actually lower than it was for Copenhagen, which was a bit of a surprise. But again, that goes to show the problems Tottenham are having selling tickets in general this season. And
that was probably the worst of the lot, though.
Probably, yeah. I don't know what it was for Doncaster, but maybe this one was the worst. 47,000. So literally 20,000 empty seats. Yesterday.
Yeah.
They have to address it. They have to address that issue because it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
I don't know what the attendances were last season, but were they ever this bad? Maybe.
Well, the Europa League group stage games last season were very well priced, to be honest.
Yeah.
Now we're in the Champions League, but we're still playing league quality opposition.
Right.
Kind of like the prices are hiked, but the level of opposition hasn't been hiked, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, it's just not great. And Dortmund is going to be classed as a Category B, which has been downgraded from a Category A. But that is a Champions League quality opposition, so we'll see what happens. And it's actually a massive game, that Dortmund game. So I expect Dortmund to be more full, and I think Dortmund will feel more like a Champions League game. But I said it to you last night, like, it doesn't even feel that it's a Champions League game tonight. You know, you hear the music, but... You know, I'm just used to these Champions League games at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and at White Hart Lane just being electric atmosphere. And because we've played Prague and Villarreal and Copenhagen, it just hasn't felt the same, has it?
Will Wibber says, I was at the game last night. My section was so quiet, I thought I could hear Ben singing.
Where were you sitting, mate? Where was he sitting? If he was sitting in the West Stand, he probably could hear me singing.
Yeah, he probably could. But it's been an issue, which I think obviously the Supporters Trust are trying to bring up. They're trying to rectify it. They're trying to create a dialogue with the club to try and get more bums on seats, essentially, and try and fill that stadium, because this season I think it's definitely been a problem. But anyway.
But also, I think a big problem this season stems from what they did with the tickets, not being able to transfer them over to... anyone with a CRN, because you have to be a paying member now. You know, that's kind of taken away tickets from a lot of people
at an extra cost.
Yeah. And
the problem is like they're putting it on the exchange. It's like, okay, you shouldn't be able to gift your ticket to a friend. If you can't go, give it to other fans who want to go. But they're putting up the exchange and they're not going.
Yeah.
Like no one's taking them.
Yeah.
You go on the exchange and there's thousands and thousands of tickets unsold. And no one's taking them up. There even away games, you know, you can't. Some games you can't give your tickets away. Newcastle away, no one wanted them. So it's a troubling problem at the moment.
Yeah, it's kind of making a mockery of being in this stadium, to be honest. We were selling out quite regularly, and then when we were able to transfer the tickets to anyone, and now, as someone mentions in the comments, 47,000 last night. And Doncaster was 42,000.
Okay.
So it's not great, is it? You know, a lot of empty seats, and you could notice it as soon as you walked into the stadium as well. So, yeah, look.
Maybe as the form improves, maybe that'll get better.
Yeah, I think it will get better, but I just think they need to open up the ticket thing again to anyone with a CRN.
Yeah, I think they've made a mistake. And apparently as well, there was a lot of... I've heard reports of a lot of away fans in the home end yesterday.
Not surprising.
So the whole point of doing this CRN thing was to stop away... They said anyway, it was to stop away fans coming in the home end. But apparently this isn't the first thing. Apparently Man United, there was a lot of home fans in the away end, away fans in the home end. And the same with yesterday.
Well, we saw it ourselves, didn't we, in front of us? We were chatting to some guy, and suddenly his son just whips off his top, and he's got a Prague top underneath.
I was like, oh, wow, okay. So it doesn't seem to have solved the problem at all. So why have they done it? It's been nonsense.
Yeah. But look, on the game, I think Frank went strong in terms of his lineup. We went for Odegaard on the left with some much-needed minutes, and I felt like we started off really well, didn't we? We opened him up within seconds with that Odegaard down the left. I think it was a really nice ball from Jed Spence, and he found Richarlison at the back post. Richarlison's got to be doing better there. Albeit, look, it's a great reflex save, but still, Richarlison's got to be doing a lot better.
You know what? I thought it was a good save by the keeper, but
it was straight at him. Really,
it was. I watched the replay, and he should have really buried it in one of the corners. It was way too central. Kind of, I don't mind it was it's a bouncing finish, but I think it hit the keeper's shoulder and. Look, good reflex, but yeah, Rishi has to score there. But it was, we did start on the front foot. I thought Odegaard started really bright, but kind of faded.
Yeah, 100%. I felt like he had two moments in the game. There was that one, and there was one in the second half. But apart from that, he didn't really do much. And I feel like it's games like this where you need to really grab your opportunity if you're someone like Odebear. And if you don't do that, like, it's hard to consider you to start in the next game in the Premier League if you're not grabbing a game like Slavia Prague by the game of scruff of the neck.
Yeah, he always kind of looks bright and he looks like he's threatening, but without really threatening. Like, he'll take someone on, create a yard, then his cross will be blocked or it'll be inaccurate.
He needs to improve his end product.
Yeah, that's
massively.
kind of the problem at the moment. I think, look, he looked like, it wasn't like having a stinker or anything. He just had numerous occasions where he was one-on-one with his fullback. He had an opportunity to really go at them or create a chance, and he was just unable to do so while also kind of looking threatening because he's running at them, but he never actually created much. So, yeah, I thought he started bright, created that chance, and I thought Tottenham were kind of on the front foot for most of it, albeit Slavia definitely did hold a threat. But most of the time, it was kind of long-range shots. Yeah,
look, I think Vicario had to make too many saves. I know a lot of them were just routine saves and pretty easy saves to make, but I think he made a couple of decent saves on the night. And for my liking, I just felt like we let them have a bit too much encouragement at times, and we let them have too many shots. Look, don't get me wrong. I thought it was a decent performance. I don't think it was an unbelievable performance. I don't think... You know how Frank was talking in the press conference a few weeks ago about, like, 11 games will be brilliant, however many games will be this, however many games will be that. That was probably in the...
Above average.
Just above average. Yeah, exactly. Just above average category, because I thought we created, more than enough chances to win the game, albeit we only scored through an own goal and two penalties, but we created more than enough chances to win the game. But what I didn't like about that game is just how easy it was for Slavia Prague to kind of cut us open at times.
Yeah, we lacked a bit of control. I think we kind of looked really good when we were playing quick and direct football straight into the wingers, getting them into space, get them taking on their fullbacks, get them putting crosses in and cutbacks, and that's when we looked at our most dangerous. But Slavia, I think they were playing this kind of man-to-man pressing. They were kind of being quite aggressive as well, and at times were able to play for us, and at times they never really created too many clear-cut opportunities. I think there was one header they had in the first half, which went just wide. Most of their chances did come from range, but again, leaving too much space outside the box and allowing those shots to come in. But I guess Frank would say, well, look, they didn't score, and those kind of shots are less likely to go in. So is it that much of an issue? It has been an issue for us, hasn't it, in the last month or so, conceding long-range efforts.
That's what I was saying to you at the game, like... if we played a team of higher quality, they'd probably put one or two of those away.
Potentially. We definitely would have had to be better if we're playing a high quality team. But I think for me, it makes sense against a team like Slavia. Yes, they had maybe too many. Look, they had a lot more of the game than Brentford did on Saturday, didn't they? Brentford had barely anything. We were able
a lot more of the game that Copenhagen did as well.
Yeah, they did, but I thought they didn't have that many clear-cut opportunities. So I think as much as they probably got a bit of encouragement, they never really looked like scoring. Maybe they did. Maybe they could have got a goal or maybe a consolation, but they never looked like they were getting back in the game. I thought first half, potentially, you could say that. I think first half was a bit more even. Vicario did have to make some saves. But again, most of the saves he made were from range. I thought second half, we did take a bit more control of the game and were able to just control how we were attacking, and we restricted them a bit more.
Yeah, look, I thought they did look like scoring, to be honest. But I thought we just looked like scoring more than they did. Like, it was a very open game, in my opinion. I think Spurs were the better team on the day and thoroughly deserved the win. So that's why I'm not unhappy with the performance yesterday. I was just expecting a bit more. When you're looking on the back of the Brentford game, when you look at how we destroyed Copenhagen a few weeks ago, I was expecting a performance a bit reminiscent of those performances where you got complete control and we're cutting them open at will. And look, we did cut them open quite a few times in the game. I think the stats read, 6 big chances in the game. 2 of them obviously penalties. But yeah, look, I was content with it, but I wasn't like that. I don't think it was like one of those performances where we blew away the opposition.
No, but I also don't think 3-0 flattered us. So at the end of the day, it's fine. But I think we were much better against Brentford. I think that was a much more complete performance, and maybe Copenhagen as well. You could say we were probably much better in that game as well.
Yeah.
But also, you have to say this game was a lot better than what we've seen in a lot of games. this season. So from that point, it's another step in the right direction, probably keeps up our momentum, and it's another positive performance. But yeah, it could have been better. There's definitely things to improve. But I enjoyed watching us a lot more yesterday than I have done in a lot of other games.
Yeah, I mean, put it this way, if we don't get those 2 penalties, are we still talking about it like that? Like, probably not.
I think so. I think we probably score other chances. You know, I think we probably create other chances. I think we probably still win the game by at least a 2-goal margin, in my opinion.
The reality is we never scored from open play yesterday. It was a great flick on from Romero to force the own goal through, all the terrible own goal for Slavia to concede. And the other 2, look, we won the penalties quite well. Stupid challenges in the box from them. I don't know what they're thinking for both of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Javi does really well for the second one, and Porro just I don't know what that challenge on Porro was.
Yeah, I'd say Javi earned his penalty. I think the Porro one was just a brain dead moment from the Slavia defender.
Yeah.
No, but I think I know what you're saying, but at the end of the day, like we did from open play, it's not like we didn't have enough chances to win that game 3-0. I know we didn't score them, but it's not to say that we didn't open them up.
Their keeper kept them in the game at times. Yeah. That's the reality.
He made a brilliant double save from Tell and Sarr. He made a great save from Rishi right at the start of the game as well. Like, we had the chances to blow them away. And so I think even without the penalties, it could have been 3-0, even if you take those penalties away.
Yeah, got maybe like 3-1 or something. But yeah, 100% we deserve to win the game, no doubt about it. In terms of the standouts, I think the 2 standouts were really Javi and Kudus, like both of them from an attacker standpoint. Kudus they couldn't live with for the majority of the game, and I felt like a lot of what we were doing in terms of link-up play, progressing the ball up the pitch, was all coming through Javi as well. So I think Javi is growing in a Spurs shirt. Kudus, after a bit of a period where, you know, a bit of downturn in his performance, I think last couple of games now, he's really kind of getting back to those levels now, isn't he?
Yeah, looking a lot sharper, and I was really impressed with him yesterday, taking his man on. There was points where he was just looking unstoppable. Again, he did seem to fade a bit in the second half, which is probably why he got taken off. But for first half, he was really good. Javi, I think, throughout the game, he was so difficult to deal with for Slavia. I thought everything kind of good was kind of flowing through him. He was doing switches of play. He was drawing fouls. He was flicking it past players. He was any sort of little bits of magic and ingenuity. Javi was at the heart of, and obviously he did brilliantly to win the penalty. Bit of luck sticking it away, but he stuck it away. I think the problem with his technique is sometimes you don't get the power that you need from that kind of position, because when you stop just before you take it, you kind of lose that momentum, and that's maybe what happened with his penalty, and he kind of got a bit lucky to squeeze it in, but then again, it was too good for the keeper to keep out, so he did score. But yeah, I thought he played brilliantly again, and he's just growing in confidence. He's playing the ball quicker. I thought it was another really strong performance from Xavi, and he's just seeming more and more confident. Another
player, actually, who I think is really turning a corner in this season now is Pedro Porro. I thought Porro had a really good game yesterday. You know, had his hand in 2 of the goals that we scored. Obviously got chopped down for the penalty. It was his corner that led to the first goal as well. But it wasn't just that. I felt like he was picking up such good areas, getting forward, finding himself in the box. Defensively, I don't think much came down his side as well. So I thought Pedro Porro really had a top display yesterday. And did you not think so?
No, I didn't actually. I thought he was fine. I didn't think it was bad, but I thought he was far better against. Brentford. I actually didn't think he was getting forward as much.
I thought he found himself in really good moments in the opposition box, and obviously one of them won us a penalty.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he did in that moment. I'm not saying he had a bad game. Don't get me wrong.
And I also feel like his passing and crossing is getting a lot better, because like we saw like a few weeks ago the Chelsea game. He didn't play the Arsenal game, but a few other games around that period, like his passing just seemed so off it, and I feel that's all starting to come back a bit now.
Yeah, I'm not saying he had a bad game. I just didn't think he was especially good. Like he was better than he has been for a lot of those other games, I think. And but those other games, obviously, he was trash for a lot of them. He was like really bad. But I just thought he seemed a lot more energetic for me against Brentford. He didn't seem to have that same energy. But that's whatever. He was decisive, as you say, with the moments. I just didn't think he was like that great.
Oh. That's a difference of opinion then, isn't it? Like, I thought he was very good yesterday. And another good performance from Jed Spence.
Yeah.
Jed Spence out on the left-hand side. He was playing a kind of like Ange role yesterday, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was given freedom. You saw that because Odegaard was told to literally to stick to the wing, it seemed, and Jed Spence was given that license to either stay wide or invert. He looked like he was given freedom to kind of find a way out, and that's maybe how it has to be. But I think that role probably suits him a lot more, left back. Albeit on Saturday he was much more staying wide and getting to the byline, which I really, really liked. But doesn't mean you can't be effective doing the other thing. I think just in general he hasn't been that effective doing it this season a lot of the time. But yesterday I think he picked his moments really well, and I thought he linked up really well with Odegaard, especially in the first half.
Yeah, and that's been a big criticism, hasn't it? That when Spence and Odegaard have been on that side together, the link-up play hasn't really been there. I thought it was much better yesterday from that aspect. And Archie Gray just keeps growing and growing. I don't think him and Paulinho is maybe the best kind of pivot to go for, or pairing to go for in the middle of the park. I thought Gray looked a lot more comfortable next to Bentancur on the weekend, but you can see like he's at home in this team, and he's at the required level in my opinion, and I think he keeps growing and growing.
Yeah, and I thought the pass from him to Porro for the penalty was brilliant, on the money, and also the pass from him, he set up Odegaard as well after winning the ball in the middle, charges down, sets up Odegaard, who probably should score. So I thought he was really great on the ball. I thought he had a pretty good partnership, I felt, with Paulinho. I thought, yeah, I do agree. I think the one with Bentancur was better, to be honest. But I actually thought Paulinho had a pretty good game, actually, with him yesterday. And
there was a few progressive passes in there from Paulinho, but I still thought it was too conservative.
Yeah, he is definitely. He doesn't. I thought he got less conservative in the second half, but first half he just refuses to play the ball forward. He just so hesitant.
There was a few in there, but
I thought second half there was more. I thought second half there was more. First half again he was just playing it backwards. But I thought Gray was the one, obviously being more progressive, and I think having Javi back in the team helps a lot. I think without him, you don't get away with it as much, but because you can just give the ball into Javi and he just does a little flick, and all of a sudden you've broken the lines again. You've broken 2 lines. So I thought that was really good.
What is the issue at Tottenham with penalty takers, man? Do we not have a recognised penalty taker? Because every penalty that we've got this season, there's been an argument or a brewing argument to go and take it. There was the one at Copenhagen. Obviously, there was that thing with Dane and Richarlison, and someone had to come and sort out and give the ball to Richarlison.
Well, I don't think there was an actual argument, was there?
Well, maybe it was just the fans.
It was just the fans
maybe
arguing,
it was just the fans. But yesterday, there was definitely an aspect of that where Romero had to come and sort out twice of who's taking the penalty. Richarlison clearly wanted the first one, didn't he? And Romero came over and be like, nah, Richarlison, get away. This is for Kudus. And Kudus didn't even seem like he wanted it, but Romero was like, look, Kudus, this is your penalty. And the second one as well, Javi taking it, and I think there was a bit of a conversation there as well. So is there a penalty taker at Spurs, or is there not?
Great question. Obviously, Sonny and Kane have had those duties for so long. We kind of haven't needed to even have that conversation.
But Frank is the manager, and he hasn't had Kane or Sonny, so surely he's designated. Like,
I don't know. I don't know who it would be. I mean,
maybe he tinkers so much. His designated penalty taker's never on the pitch when we get a penreally.
Yeah, Kudus. Yeah, definitely seemed surprised that it was him. But I mean, why would he if he's the designated taker? But maybe he's not. It's really confusing. Kudus, as much as I love him, he doesn't seem like the guy who's going to be great at penalties, to be honest. So, like, in terms of his technique,
but who did? No,
I agree. There's not really any players who I think I would really trust him in a penalty.
For the second penalty, there was more candidates on the pitch, because I think Tell seems like he could probably take a good penalty.
He's taken a few already, hasn't he?
Yeah. So there were more. Muani potentially as well. But for the first one, who were the actual? It was basically just Richarlison and Kudus, really, and Javi.
Frank said it is sorted out. Well, I don't know what that means. So what did he say? Did he say there is a taker, or I don't know? But I don't know who. Yeah, I guess Javi was looking like he was complaining, but Romero very quickly gave it to him. So I don't know who else would have been up for it.
Javi said after the game that he wanted to take the first one.
Yeah, he wanted to take the first one as well. But did he want to take it just because he felt good and like that's why he wanted it, or did he want to take it because he felt he's the taker? It's a very confusing situation. But obviously, Rishi and Kudus would have been both ahead of him.
But I give credit to Romero, showing his leadership abilities, just quickly getting in there and sorting that situation out.
Charlie Bell says maybe it's just up to Romero to pick.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like yesterday. That's what it did seem like yesterday.
Yeah, it's a very odd situation. But do you think, Kudus should be our designated taker?
Well, judging on the penalty yesterday, probably not, because I don't think it was a great penalty. I don't think it was right in the corner. I think it was a bit of luck that did go in.
Kudus was the one in the middle.
Oh, sorry. Kudus actually a decent penalty.
Yeah, a bit of power.
He gave the keeper the eyes and went down the middle. Javi's penalty wasn't great. But I don't even know who should be our designated penalty taker. From what I've seen, Tell seems to be our best penalty taker.
Yeah. I think Tell has really good technique and he gets good power on it as well. Obviously, he missed one against PSG, but he did send the keeper the wrong way. I actually think his technique is really good. But Tell's obviously not starting lots of games right now. So, of the players who start, yeah, maybe it is Kudus. Maybe just him till he misses one.
Yeah. Look, I don't mind who they go for in terms of, but go for someone. You know what I mean? We can't have these mad conversations on the pitch every time.
Too much pressure on though.
Yeah,
on the
it's crazy.
You just gotta have confidence who's taking it, and that's it. Everyone knows.
Yeah. It's like they're not prepared to have a penalty in a game, and it's just like we'll just wing it at the time, and Romero has to come in and be a captain, I guess, and sort it out. And that's what he did yesterday. And I thought Romero had a fantastic game yesterday, to be honest.
Yeah.
Stepping out in defence, his passing was there on show for everyone to see. Obviously had a massive hand in the first goal that we scored with a nice little knock on. Yeah, he was fantastic, wasn't he?
His passing is just so good.
Yeah.
He played this one, drilled through ball into Kudus right at the start of the game, which is absolutely astonishing and so nearly got us a goal. Wasn't over aggressive in too many occasions as well. He was just winning his duels. Obviously defensively didn't have that much to do, although I will say there was a couple of times he just put a clearance right up in the air and put us in a bit of trouble. But I thought his passing was just so good, and we just miss it. No one can do that in the team like Cuti Romero. Although I have noticed Van de Ven has started to do a few more of those passes, but he doesn't have the disguise that Romero does. Romero has his body position. He looks like he's going to give it to the winger, and before you know it, he's done a little inside pass to someone like Xavi or just a little to like Gray or something like that. He disguises his passes very, very well and with such quality. And when he's on the form yesterday, it's really great to watch. It's just something that we miss so badly when he's not in the team.
Yeah, absolutely. Such a quality player and such a quality performance from him last night. I actually thought our weakest link in the back line was Van de Ven yesterday. I thought a couple of times they were able to get in behind him. It wasn't his greatest display yesterday, was it?
Yeah, I don't remember too much he did wrong, but obviously got booked to a really stupid
So stupid, man.
Haven't seen it again. It seemed like a really ridiculous situation. He just got past the player and he flails his arm. Now, whether the player made too much of it and it was a wrong decision, or whether it was stupid for Van de Ven to put his arm there, either way, it's just so frustrating that he's going to be missing the next game because we're going to need him.
Yeah. But in terms of the outlook of the group in the Champions League, I mean, by the time when the game finished, we didn't know Liverpool had won, so we thought we were in the top 8. But because Liverpool got that late winner, it leaves us in 9th position. We have to see how the games go tonight to see where we end up at the end of the game week. But
the lowest will be is 12th, I think, if results go against us.
We are 1 point outside the top 8 with 2 difficult games to come. Dortmund at home and Frankfurt away. You're still thinking we need to win those 2 games to finish in the top 8.
Yeah, I don't think 4 points is going to be enough. You see how many teams are currently in contention for it. Obviously, last season, it was 16 points was the cut-off, which would mean we need 5 more points, which would still mean 2 wins. I don't think 4 points is going to be enough looking at all the teams involved and how close it is. I think you're going to need 2 wins, to be honest. So even 2 wins isn't completely guaranteed, but I think 2 wins should be enough, and I think if we win both those games, I'm fairly confident. I don't think we're going to be in the top 4 or 5, but I think 6, 7 and 8, I think will be one of those positions.
I think when you're looking at picking up potentially 6 points over the next 2 games, I think we've got it in us to do it. I don't think it's beyond all realms of possibility. I think they're both kind of games that we could potentially win, but the question is, will we go and do it? You know, my personal opinion is we'll probably get 4 points out of the next 2 games.
Yeah. I think Dortmund are having a pretty decent season, albeit they started really well, and I think they've fallen off a bit recently. But look, there's no reason. We have the quality to beat them. We know that.
Man City beat him 4-1 last time.
Man City beat him 4-1. We definitely have the quality to beat them. It's just what kind of mood they come in. Well, I know we don't play them for a while, do we? Like
End of Jan, yeah.
End of Jan. So
could have a new signing by then. Well, we won't be registered, will he?
No, it depends what kind of injuries we have at that point as well. So we can all make our predictions right now, but become that game, depends what kind of form we're in, momentum, all that kind of stuff. If we can keep up the momentum we have now going into that game, everyone might be buzzing and really confident. Maybe we'll have a few bad results going into that game and a few injuries, and all of a sudden you're thinking it's a tall order to beat them. So we'll have to wait and see at the time. But I think when you just take the team of the quality of team, they're a good team. It's going to be a tough game. But, you know, we're at home. I know that's not necessarily a positive, but we are at home.
It is now.
It is now. Maybe we've got the crowd behind us. There's no reason to think we can't win that game.
Yeah. And if we don't, as someone says in the comments, if we don't go and qualify in the top 8, we'll just be looking back to those Monaco and Bodo games where we were just terrible, weren't we?
Yeah, that could probably cost us.
It could potentially cost us, yeah.
On a better note, pretty certain now we're going to be in that top 24. I don't think there's much jeopardy of us missing out on that.
And we'll probably be, if we don't finish in the top 8, we'll be very high in the group, so we'll get a kind draw, hopefully.
Yeah, well, I think it's seeded, isn't it? So we'll place one of the bottom teams.
Albeit, you look at the bottom teams, like Napoli are down there, Leverkusen are down
Juventus,
there, PSV, you know. These
Monaco.
Yeah, exactly. So they're actually, I don't think there'll be an easy game there. Maybe Paphos,
Paphos,
Juventus are there.
Wouldn't mind Karabag. I don't know if it's a draw or is it just you play an equivalent. I can't remember if it's a random draw or you play an equivalent of whoever's bottom.
I'm not sure. I think it's a random. I don't think it's a random draw. It's a seeded draw.
Seeded draw. I mean, yeah.
I think it's a draw, but I'm not 100% sure.
But yeah, obviously, if we can get into that top 8, great. If we don't, look, we're going to have to play a round of 16 or round of 32, isn't it? So
yeah.
We're going to have to just play that tie. Puts a bit more strain on the squad, but you know, is what it is. I think the most important thing is just getting through to our next round, and I think looks like we're there. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. How many points we above 25th?
5.
5 points.
So that, you know, pretty certain that.
Yeah,
I'm pretty certain we're not going to be. I don't know if mathematically it's there. Pretty sure it is, to be honest, because I can't see all those teams getting 6 points.
Yeah, agreed.
So it should be okay.
All right, so we're through to the next round, people. Big up. But no, look, good day all round. That was our match review. Spurs 3, Slavia Prague 0. We're going to move on to player ratings in the game yesterday and see what our thoughts are on that. Start off with Vicario. 7s all round for Big Vic. I think, look, dealt with everything that came his way. A couple of good saves in there, but most of them just kind of routine, I felt. What I was impressed with probably most is his ability to come and claim those crosses quite easily yesterday.
Yeah. How many saves did he actually make? How many saves? Because he seemed to make a lot.
Yeah.
If you look at the stats, it says he made 5 saves. So that is quite, it's a lot for when you're facing him at Slavia. But as you said, the most difficult ones were the ones from range, and he dealt with them pretty comfortably, either putting out for a corner, not putting them back in the danger zone. So that was good. And all the other saves were really routine. He was able to hold on to them. So really comfortable, good, solid goalkeeping display, I felt, from Vicario.
Next up, Pedro Porro. A bit of a difference on this one. Sim gives him a 6. I gave him an 8. Obviously, we touched on it in the match review. But look, I thought he was fantastic, and I thought it was one of his better displays of the season. I thought he found himself in really good positions in the opposition box. Obviously, one of the times he was there, he got a penalty with a horrific challenge from one of the Slavia Prague defenders. I thought his corners were on point. Obviously, one of them, a goal came from one of them as well. So, yeah, decent display from Porro.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with Porro. I didn't think he was bad. I just think when I'm comparing him to how I felt he played against Brentford, I thought he was a lot better in that game. Had more energy. But again, maybe that's because we're just overplaying him at the moment. He's playing so much football. He's probably going to play again on Sunday. And we know Porro, when fatigue sets in, it's tough for him to keep up those energy levels.
Like anyone.
That's absolutely right. But yeah, look, I didn't think he was bad. Did great to win the penalty. Good corner for the goal. I just didn't feel like he was as good as he was on Saturday.
Cuti Romero up next.
I thought I gave him an 8, but okay, maybe I did give him a 7. Anyway, Okay, I'm an 8. My bad.
Sim gives him a 7. I gave him an 8.
I'm an 8.
Sim gives him an 8. I gave him an 8. Good display from Romero. Really showed his leadership ability yesterday, particularly with the penalty situation. Had to come and sort both of them out. And there was no arguments after Romero came and stepped in, which shows the authority maybe he has in the squad. I thought defensively was completely sound, but what was his most impressive thing yesterday was his ability to play out the back, and his passing was completely on point. Obviously was involved in the first goal as well with a nice little flick on, which brought the own goal. So, I thought fantastic all round.
Yeah, some of his passing was absolutely brilliant. That there was this brilliant switch kind of through ball to Kudus that played him through on goal, which was absolutely amazing. Kudus so close to getting a goal. Obviously, it was his header, which got the own goal as well, which put us 1-0 up, which was crucial at the time. But his passing just sets the tone for the team. It's so hard to stop it. He disguises his passes so well. He's so great to watch. Only bad thing I'd say is a couple of times he had to clear the ball, and he cleared it just like looping it right up in the air, and it put us in a bit of pressure, and that happened a couple of times. But other than that, pretty sound defensively as well. So great display.
Mickey van der Ven, Sim gives him a 7. I gave him a 6. I thought it was just a bit below par from his usual performances. I don't think he put in a stinker or anything like that, but just a little bit below par. There was one time, I think a couple of times actually, he got caught on the ball when trying to drive out the back, but that's kind of what give and take from a defender who drives as many times as he does. Stupid yellow card, which I actually marked him down for as well, because it's a massive yellow card. He's suspended for the next game. And I thought he wasn't weak, but I thought he was our weakest link in the back four.
Yeah, I thought he was fine. I actually thought most of the time it was pretty good. I don't remember him getting caught on the ball too much charging. I remember he got booked when he was charging forward. But I thought he played fairly well, but the booking was so stupid. What is he doing? Or flaying his arm? Apparently Frank looked at him when that happened and pointed to his head and said, think to him. So clearly Frank wasn't happy with Van der Ven there. But I thought by and large didn't do too much wrong. I thought it was a pretty solid display.
Jed Spence, Sim gives him an 8. I gave him a 7. Definitely returned to form after a bit of a down period in his form this season. I thought he was fantastic, getting into like central areas on the pitch, driving at defence, being a nuisance for that Prague backline. And defensively on point, contributes to the attack. I think he's really good, and really nice relationship kind of brewing with Odebear, which we haven't seen really this season. Yeah,
I thought he's really stepping up last 2 games spent. He's growing into this left back role, which I think the beginning of the season, I'm not saying he played badly, but he just wasn't doing enough. He just wasn't affecting the game enough. And I think he's starting to do that last couple of games. I thought it wasn't quite as good against Brentford. I thought he had a bit of a different role this time. He was asked to be inverted a bit more. He was asked to kind of pick his moments to kind of either go wide or invert. I thought he had a really good link up with Odebear. She said the pass to him in the first minute was really great. I thought he was really strong, and I thought defensively just locked down there. He had a wing back to contend without a winger, and I thought he just locked them down really well. I think he's really growing in this left back spot. Another really strong showing.
The only issue is that these are only 2 fit fullbacks, and how do you manage their minutes?
Yeah, good question. I don't know. Maybe Gray's going to have to spend some time there. Davis obviously came off the bench, didn't he? So maybe we'll see him more, which I don't know how I feel about.
João Palhinha, Sim gives him an 8. I gave him a 6. I think he did his job well in terms of trying to dominate that midfield with his strong passing. Strong tackling, and winning the ball back for us a countless amount of times. I thought as the game wore on, he did get better in terms of his passing, but he just leaves me feeling so frustrated sometimes, Palhinha, because he gets the ball, he wins the ball back so well in the middle of the park, and you're thinking, all right, here's the moment to drive forward, play that incisive pass, and way too often it's just sideways or backwards, and it's just a very frustrating player to watch sometimes.
I thought he was pretty good yesterday. I was pretty happy. I thought he kind of dominated in the middle, to be honest, and I think Slavia were trying to progress the ball into those areas, and I thought João Palhinha and Gray, both of them really shut it down. Obviously, the Odebear's chance came from kind of Gray and Palhinha snapping at the heels of the Slavia players and winning the ball back. I thought he improved in the second half as well, João, but I do agree with you in that first half. he takes the ball and there's opportunities to turn and play it forward, and always kind of very conservative, always just playing it backwards, a lot of the time even back to the keeper if need be, whereas maybe a better player is more confident in themselves to turn and try and beat their man or go into space. So definitely needs to work on that. I thought second half he was better though. He did start to play the ball forward a bit more, and the most important thing is he started to turn on the ball and actually look forward. I think sometimes he's even scared to turn. He just doesn't want to, he has no awareness, and that's got to work on. But I thought he did dominate in that midfield, so I think he was quite good.
From what you've seen from João Palhinha, obviously we've got 25 million option at the end of the season. Do you take up that option?
No, probably, because I think we need someone. I think he actually is good for where we are now, which is if we're going to be in this transitional season with Frank, and in a situation where he needs a player just to add that energy, snap at the heels of the opposition, and make it difficult. But I think if we're going to go beyond that, I think he's going to need to be upgraded, and I think that could easily. Why not upgrade him in this summer if we can? Yeah. In my opinion.
All right, let's move on to Archie Gray. Sim gives him an 8. I gave him a 7. A lot of people waxing lyrical about Archie Gray at this moment in time. I don't think he's put too many, when he ever got on the pitch, disappointed too much this season. I think he's been pretty consistent in his performance, and I'm delighted for him. I'm delighted for what I'm seeing right now. I think he keeps the ball moving. He drives forward into space as well. His willingness to really find those pockets of space from deep, I think, is fantastic. He created a chance really well for Odebear, I think it was, in the second half. So, yeah, I'm delighted what I'm seeing with Archie Gray, and he needs to be getting a lot more minutes.
Yeah, for sure. And second start in a row now, so brilliant for him. And he seems to be growing from strength to strength. I thought he didn't quite have the energy he had on Saturday, but I thought on the ball, actually, probably better in this game. Some really nice moments for the penalty. Brilliant ball over the top for Parrott. Also set up a chance for Odebear as well on a transition. I think he actually developed decent partnership with Palhinha, just controlled that middle of the park. And he's just growing every game, isn't he? And he's growing more and more confident. And I'm really glad that Frank is starting to trust him more.
Yeah, you know what? When you look at Archie Gray, the development that he's had in the last year has been nothing short of phenomenal, isn't it? Because you look at, well, not even the last year, since the start of the season, the development has been insane with him, because you look at the back end of last season, I know the team weren't functional, but he just looked completely out of his depth in the middle of the park in the Premier League. And now he just looks right at home there.
Yeah, he's putting in some really solid displays, so long may it continue.
Javi Simmons up next. 8's all round for Javi. He was my man the match, and I thought he was central to everything that we're doing. He's always looking to turn his man, take it past his man, create chances. A constant thorn in the Slavia Prague side yesterday. Got his goal with the penalty. Potentially could have had more as well if he had his finishing boots on, but he was picking up such brilliant spaces, and I thought the majority of good work that Spurs were doing were all coming through him.
Yeah, I think he's such a delight to watch. He's in that mood as well. And the amount of times he wins free kicks or he drags the ball past the player, he looks like that's his first kind of instinct, isn't it? Gets the ball, try and see if there's a bit of space to get beyond his man and open up the space. And he's brilliant at doing that. He's got little bits of ingenuity. You can see them. There's so much magic in his head that he can provide. And he obviously did a little trick to win the penalty as well, earned that, and stuck it away with confidently, but a bit luckily because the keeper get to hand to it. But I thought there was so many moments of quality in there from him. Good switches of play, just quality on the ball. Didn't allow himself to get bullied in any situation. Just either played the ball quickly or was able to just trick past his man and open up the space. So we just look so much better with him in the team, don't we? I think the stats prove it, and I'm really starting to get more and more excited about him.
So the stats are now 10 games Javi has started for Spurs. We've won 7 of them. In the game since he's joined, he hasn't started, is 9, I think it is, and we've won none of them.
So, tells the story.
It's mad, isn't it? Do you think is that coincidence, or is that, out of the quality of player that Javi is?
I wouldn't say I don't think it's a coincidence, but I also don't think it's just because of how good Javi is. I think because of how the team looks with him. I think we just have that creator in the team. It's not like he's been killing it every game we've won, but I just think we look like a much more balanced team when he's there.
Agreed. Wilson Odebear up next. Sim gives him a 7. I gave him a 6. I mean, he started off the game like a house on fire. Brilliant ball into the box for Richarlison, which he should have buried, really. It was right on the money for Richarlison. Can't get a better cross than that. And, he couldn't have done much better with that cross. But Yeah, look, for the first 20 minutes of the game, he kind of like threatened without doing much. And then he just went quiet, I felt. You know, there was one moment from him in the second half where maybe he should have done a bit better from. But apart from that, I don't think he really did much. And I think, like I said in the review, like it's these games where he needs to grab the game by the scruff of the neck, and he just didn't do that.
He had a couple of nice moments. He had set up the chance for Richie, as you say. That was actually a really good piece of play on his left foot. Look, he kind of looked threatening throughout. He did see quite a bit of the ball, but he kind of looked threatening without being threatening. That's kind of the story of his Tottenham career. He kind of gets in good positions. He kind of looks like he's going to do something, and then his cross gets blocked, or he ends up like just checking back and passing it in field without really being decisive himself. Obviously, he had a big opportunity to score in the second half, which, to be fair, I watched it back. It was a good strike, but it was actually just a really good save from the keeper. But, you know, if you're being harsh, could he put a bit more power on it? Could he have got it more in the corner? Obviously, there's always a way to score, and he didn't manage it, and that was a big chance for him. So I don't think he played badly, but he had opportunities to really do more, and I think he was okay, but could have done more on the day.
Mohamed Kudus, Sim gives him a 7. I gave him an 8. I'm surprised you've given him a 7. You gave him man of the match yesterday.
Yeah, I probably should give him an 8. I don't know why I gave him a 7.
I thought he was fantastic. I think he was dominating on that right-hand side. Forced that fullback for Slavia Prague to get a booking, because like this guy just could not handle Kudus for the whole game. I thought he was going at him and at him and at him, creating chances, creating moments, got his goal from the penalty. And I thought, apart from Javi, he probably was our best player.
I thought first half he was outstanding. He was looking so sharp in that first half. And there was a one point as well where he gets the ball on the half-wide line, turns his man and drives in field and takes on 3-4 men. And he looks unstoppable, ends up laying off a pass. He did have one moment that Rishi sets up a chance for him, and his touch just lets him down in the box. That actually led to the corner we scored, but should have been doing better there.
Damn Kudus and those miscontrols.
Yeah, I know. Keeps happening. That happened there. I thought first half he was just a thorn in their side. I did think second half he did quieten down a bit, and obviously went off after scoring the penalty. I thought in general he was really good. To be fair, if I can give him Odeberg a 7, I should probably give him an 8. But I did think he was a bit quiet in the second half.
With Kudus, right, he's having these moments in games now. The last few games it's happened where he has these like 20-minute stretches where he's just unplayable. You just cannot get the ball off him. You cannot live with him. It happened at Fulham in the second half. It happened against Brentford. It happened yesterday against Slavia Prague. I know it's very hard to keep up those energy levels for 90 minutes or even like 60, 70 minutes, but we need to figure out a way of how to do that, because this guy, when he's in that kind of mood, he's literally one of the best wingers in the league.
Yeah, 100%. And he's so strong. It's hard to stop him. And when he has that confidence flowing through him, it's brilliant.
Richarlison up next. Sim gives him a 7. I gave him a 6. Obviously, we should be talking about Richarlison with a goal to his name after this game. It was a gilt-edged chance in the first minute of the game, and he's got to put it away. I think he put in a lot of work rate and a lot of energy into this game. I felt like his link-up play was probably his best attribute in the game yesterday, where he was kind of like bringing other people into play and linking up the play quite well. But I felt like he just missed. He was frustrating in terms of his end product.
Yeah, I think, again, he was looking sharp, which is encouraging considering he started the game on the weekend. So to start 2 games and I thought physically was looking quite good for most of it. That was encouraging. Obviously, he had that chance in the first minute, has to score. He also had a really nice effort. He had a shot from about 25 yards, which forced a decent save out of the keeper. So that was good. And then I thought his link-up play was encouraging again, and it was much better. It wasn't... Yes, he did have a couple of miscontrols, but by and large, he was kind of bring other players into play. But also, again, I felt in the second half he did start to tire. I thought Mwani did a really good job when he came on. I thought he just added the energy that maybe was waning a bit in that second half for Rishi. So right to bring him off, but yeah, I thought he had a pretty decent display.
Matisse Tell came on, I think, what was it, about on the 60th minute mark, around that. Sim gives him a 7. I gave him a 6. I'm starting to really like Matisse Tell, to be honest. After I predicted him to be flop of the season at the beginning of the year. I think he keeps growing and growing. I don't think it was like unbelievable from him yesterday, but I really like his energy, his application, his willingness to work. And I think he shows signs of quality as well. So, look, I don't think he did anything unbelievably well, but I think for the performances that he's showing, he deserves more minutes than what he's getting right now.
Yeah, and obviously he did get a decent chunk of the game yesterday. But what I really like about Tell, he had He came on and he was confident. He had 2 shots yesterday, 2 really good efforts, and both of them he looked like he was in the corner, looked like there was nowhere to go, and just made a yard for himself, just made a bit of separation between him and the defender.
It's not the first time he's done that as well.
Away. And that is something he's consistently been able to do. He did it with both the goals he scored in the Premier League, just got that little extra yard and got the shot off. And what I really liked the shots that he took, they were really good quality, made the keeper make saves. And the first one fell to Sarr, and that should have been a goal. So he should have been involved in that. And the second one obviously forced a corner. So he's getting really good efforts in. But the most important thing is he's just getting closer to defender, then getting that little bit of separation and being confident, getting those shots off with good quality. So I really liked what I was seeing from him. I liked his cameo against Newcastle as well. So I would like to see off the left him get a start somewhere and see what he can do, because I'm really liking how confident he's looking.
I think it should be this weekend, man.
I feel like it's very different that we've got 2 kind of very not opposite wingers, but 2 wingers in Tel and Odegaard offer very different things. Odegaard will shape up his man and try get to the byline, try create a chance and combine, whereas Tel looks a lot of the time to go for goal.
More direct
to goal and tries to get efforts off. So kind of give and take. But when you got Kudus on the right, who's much more of a creator, I'd like to see Tel get a chance on the left.
Yeah, I thought he should have started the game yesterday, to be honest, and I think he should start the game this weekend. I think he's knocking on the door, to be honest. He really is knocking on the door. And, you know, I thought at the start of the season that Odegaard had shown more in a Spurs shirt than Tel, and I was wanting Odegaard to get those chances a bit more, but my opinion's kind of changed on that a little bit. I feel like Tel is the one knocking closer on the door than Odegaard right now.
I agree. I do think they're both improving, which is positive.
I agree with
really
that.
The competition's going to be healthy. I don't know if the plan was for them to compete or play together when we first signed them, but they seem to be competing for the same position at the moment, which is I think it's healthy, to be honest. But yeah, I agree. I think Tel recent weeks is showing more and more, so I want to see more of him. See,
yesterday I thought that we should have gone for both of them, Odegaard on the right and Tel on the left, and seeing what the dynamic would have been like that. But look, Kudus, you know, maybe giving him a bit of a rest yesterday, but he was such a standout performer. It's hard to disagree that Kuda should have started. But let's go for Pape Matar Sarr. 6s all round for Pape. I thought it was a bit better than what we have seen in recent weeks from him. He came on. You definitely noticed he was there, which is a step in the right direction from him. He had that chance that he potentially could have put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, should have scored.
And yeah, he should have scored. So energy levels was there, the running was there, and he actually found some good spaces in the box as well. So yeah, better from Pape.
Yeah, he looked all right. I think had that little bit of energy that maybe I think Gray was waning a bit when he did get taken off. So I think that was the right decision. That chance comes to him. It's a rebound. You know, the keeper's down, and he just allows that keeper a chance to make the save. So that was a bit frustrating. Should have been a goal there, but I thought he was all right when he came on.
Ben Davies, first cameo of the season for him, and it was very fitting to be on Sonny's return. 6s all round for Ben. I don't think he had much to do defensively, to be honest, but the main thing I know is he was our corner taker off the... Yeah. and I thought he actually put in some decent corners as well.
I agree. He's always had like okay delivery when given a chance. So, given the fact he's only left footed, we definitely tend to do it only in swingers. Davis was the one called upon, albeit I did see in the warm up they were practicing out swingers, but clearly they didn't want to use it in this occasion. But yeah, interesting. I'm happy he's on the pitch. He got a really good ovation as well, which was really nice. Didn't expect that, but maybe because was it definitely his first appearance of the season?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Doncaster didn't play.
No, I think he's been injured a lot of it. Yeah.
Injured, so it was great to see the ovation he got, and I thought he did all right on the minimal game time he had.
And last but not least, from the playing staff, Randall Kolo Muani, 7s all round. I think it's really good that he got a bit of a rest in this game, coming fit and fresh for the game against Nottingham Forest. There was a fear that he was, limping after the game and he was a bit injured, but look, good to see him on the pitch yesterday, and I think he showed quality. Laid off a chance in when he came on as well. I think you could see he's the best number 9 at the club. I think the only thing missing from his game now in the Premier League is to put the ball in the back of the net, which is obviously what you need as a number 9 and a striker. But he shows the energy, he shows the application, he shows quality. I just want to keep seeing more of him. I really like what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I think you see when the ball gets to feet, the quality that he does have. He protects it so much better. He just does things with a bit more quality, like his layoffs and his passes and bring other players into play. The way he got the ball to Xavi for the penalty, the way he holds the ball up. So I do really like all those aspects of the game. He seems really strong, really quick. He seems to be getting, I think you see he's in a different physical stage now than he was when he first joined. He's now beating players to the ball first. He's using that physicality that he has got. So it's really encouraging. Didn't get a goal or anything, but it was a really nice cameo, I felt.
Yeah. And last but not least, Thomas Frank. Sim gives him an 8. I gave him a 7. Look, we were the better team on the day. We deserved to win. He gets credit for the way he set us up. He went strong. And we won the game 3-0, but, still didn't score a goal from open play, but we created more than enough chances from open play to score one. I just marked him down just 1 mark just because I felt like we gave Slavia Prague a bit too much kind of encouragement in the game, and they had a few too many shots for my liking, and I was expecting more of a dominant... Look, it was a dominant display, but not as dominant as maybe the Brentford game and the Copenhagen game was, and like wave after wave. But look, we did more than enough to win the game. It was a good performance. Maybe I'm just being a bit harsh and I expected better.
I thought he managed the game pretty well. I thought the subs were good. I thought the starting lineup was really strong, and obviously was enough to see them off. Obviously, they did have a few shots, Slavia, but most of them were from range, not really too many clear-cut opportunities. So I think we did keep them quiet for the most part, albeit I thought they had a bit more of the game in the first half. Second half, I think we started to take real control. I think we rotated. How many changes did we make from the weekend? I can't remember.
4, I think it was.
So he rotated well and kept the freshness and kept some players fresh for the weekend. And I thought we created a lot of chances, more than enough chances to win the game. It wasn't the prettiest at times, but I think it was effective, and I think we deserved the win. I think at times there was some good football. He's getting Xavi purring. He's getting more out of Kudus. So I think Tel and Odebear, they're starting to show signs of improvements. All of a sudden, the attacking players are now starting to really click and show good signs. So that's really promising. So hopefully we're going from strength to strength. And after, the Fulham game, where that was probably his lowest moment so far as Tottenham manager, one of anyway. We're starting showing signs of life. We're showing signs of improvement. We're starting to gain a bit of momentum. Look, still a long way to go, and a bad defeat against Forest, and all of a sudden question marks start happening again. But right now, last 3 games been positive, and we have shown signs of. And look, if we continue in this way, showing attacking intent, why I don't mind as much that we maybe gave a few moments to Slavia is because it seemed we were very concentrated at the moment on focusing on ourselves, and I really liked that. That's the most important thing. Yes, we gave some chances to Slavia. Yes, they had some moments, but the most important thing is we look better on the ball. We look like we're creating chances again. We're looking to take the game to Slavia without as much concentration on how we stop them. It's more about how do we hurt them. And if you do that against teams of the quality of Slavia, you're going to win the game, and that's what happened. So I'm really happy about that, and I hope we continue like this.
So you feeling more positive about Frank now?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely am, because we're seeing better stuff. We're seeing what we want to see. We're seeing again another game where Gray starts, so more trust in those players. We're seeing Xavi back in the team again. We're seeing more attacking intent. We're seeing Spurs more on the front foot. So that's what all I want to see, and we're seeing us play better. So that's great. Just need to see that continue.
All right. Well, that is our player ratings from the 3-0 win against Slavia Prague in the Champions League yesterday. I wonder if Danny realises what the XG was yesterday. Danny, you know what the XG was yesterday?
It's irrelevant. Don't give me that XG stuff, Ben. Don't give me the XG. Don't want to know.
There has been an update from Fabrizio Romano in the past half an hour. He says Tottenham are constantly monitoring Luka Vuskovic progress at Hamburg and are very happy with his performances on loan. The 18-year-old centre-back seen as a key part of the long-term plans, 13 games and 2 goals so far for Hamburg. And that last goal, if anyone hasn't seen it, you have to go and watch that last goal from Luka Vuskovic on the week. Was it last weekend? It was fantastic. But what a surprise that Spurs are monitoring a player on loan this season.
Imagine they just abandoned him. Like, we're not even going to check up on him.
What sort of update is that?
We're not even looking at him. We don't care. We're not going to analyse his performance and see if he's ready for the Premier League. It's just we're not going to keep on top of Vuskovic. I'm sure you could do an update for all of our own players. I'm sure it would be the same thing.
Yeah, literally.
It's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's just trying to get some engagement.
He knows that Vuskovic gets a lot of engagement.
He knows that. So Spurs are monitoring Vuskovic's loan. Great. I mean, I'm guessing.
Must be a slow news day for him.
Why wouldn't they monitor it? I don't understand.
It's a slow news day for him. What can you do?
God. Here we go, Spurs monitoring Vuskovic. Come on, boys.
It'll be funny because that's probably the only time we don't monitor Vuskovic. He'll fumble that here we go as well. But yeah, let's finish off the stream on the way the internet did react to the game yesterday, and some brilliant reactions across social media after the game yesterday. And first and foremost, this was a quote from Javi after the game yesterday, talking about Sonny, and he said, "He's a big legend of the club. It's a real pleasure for me to take his number and build my own legacy. So really happy to meet him." So first time them two meeting, and it was really nice to see our new number 7 scoring in front of the legendary number 7.
So almost like passing the baton over.
Yeah.
Really nice, and really good to have him have a good game as well. I wonder if I don't think that 7. Hopefully, it doesn't weigh too heavily on Javi, because it's a big number to come into given Son's reputation. But
Doesn't look like it is.
Well, at the moment, well, you might have argued before it did, but last 2 performances definitely that weight's been lifted. Hopefully,
I'm sure Sonny gave him a nice little pep talk yesterday. Mohamed Kudus talking on Son as well, and he said he's a legend here. It feels really good to have him here. I wish we played together a bit longer, but it's nice to have him here. He's a big example to all of us of how we represent the club and do their best for the club, so it was a pleasure. So yeah, I was watching the interview from Kudus, and he did, like, you could definitely feel the emotion in how Kudus was talking as well. And how good would it have been to have prime Sonny and prime Kudus on both wings?
Yeah, missed the trick there, unfortunately. We could have been something great, but never going to see it.
Should have got him off Ajax, man.
Yeah.
We could have had it.
Never going to see it, unfortunately, but yeah, what could have been.
And Matty's Tell as well talking on Sonny, and he says, this meant a lot to the club and to me as well, because Sonny is like my big brother. He's always behind me. And apparently Son has kept in contact with Matty's Tell since leaving, and offering words of advice and words of wisdom even now. Yeah,
there's no better player to learn off of someone like Tell than Sonny, because I really think Sonny's a very similar type of what he tries to do on a pitch than Tell. They're very similar. So I think if there's anyone to ask questions about what he can be doing better, it's definitely Sonny.
And some more quotes from Mohamed Kudus, and this is on facing England at the World Cup, and he said that Jed said he's going to pocket me, but I think time will tell.
Time will definitely
Who's
tell.
going to win that battle, Jed or Kudus?
The best 1 versus 1 winger versus the best 1 versus 1 defender. It's going to be quite the battle.
Well, apparently Kudus can't get past Jed in training. That's the
what Jed
rumours.
says. We'll have to wait and see what happens in the World Cup. I actually probably back Jed, to be honest.
Really? Wow.
Or is Jed even going to play?
Yeah, that's another question. So Sonny has taken to Instagram this morning after coming to Spurs yesterday, and he says, coming back here and being with you all last night is one of the things I've been longing to do since leaving in the summer. As everything happened so quickly, I never got to say a proper goodbye that I wanted to, which is why I'm so grateful to come back yesterday. By now you know how special this club is to me and what you've all done to make me the player I am, and that is something that will stay with me forever. See you all again soon, Sonny. One thing that made me laugh at his speech yesterday, and he was like, "I'd love to have you all in LA, so come and visit me." It was like, "What, you offer you
60,000?
You having us round for dinner, Sonny? Is that what's going on here?"
I'm taking him off on that. Yeah. I'm on the plane. I'm booking the plane. I think he's trying to boost ticket sales for LA. He wants every game to be a home game. I mean, they are all home games at the moment anyway. But yeah, it was. Look, I think it was definitely a speech from the heart, and obviously, I hope he comes back a lot, and I hope we get to see him every season. I don't know if that's too much to ask. A commemorative game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to get him playing.
Look, every time this year, MLS is off season. Why not?
I wish we'd had a Ledley King-esque, what do you call it, friendly match, testimonial for him. That would have been amazing. That would be a sellout.
100%. 100%. So yeah, we're going to miss him desperately, Sonny. His infectious smile around the place, and just the quality of man and player that he was and is. So yeah, heartfelt message from Sonny on Instagram today. And there was just so many Sonny moments yesterday that we'll go through. This one is him meeting the squad. Look at that hug with Vicario. Every hug yesterday just seemed to go on for ages.
So personal. Well, he just walked past Parrott. What's going on there? There is a Parrott.
And that Maddison and Sonny hug was right in front of us as well.
That was, you can see that was a lot behind that. Oh,
and with Dom as well.
Big Dom.
Such touching moments yesterday.
You could feel it with all the players how much it meant to him to have Sonny back.
Yeah.
Gave them all a lift. Made us start quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. So where's he going now? This is the same again.
Yeah.
All right. Dahlia07 said, Ben said I have his number and I don't give a shit. He probably gets all the Sonny shit memes.
What's he saying?
So basically Ben was saying in this interview that I speak to Sonny all the time, so it's not a big thing that he's coming back today.
Get the script, Eddie. Come on. You know, don't be too honest. Come on, you got to play up a bit. Oh, you got a tear in my eye. Come on, something.
Yeah, he was just like the novelty's worn off on me because I speak to Sonny every day.
Best friends.
Yeah, this is the same one, but the caption this time it says, "Look at the way Zhao looked at Sonny. I'm so robbed of them being in the same club together."
He looked at him longingly.
Yeah.
He's like, I so wish to protect you, but I can't anymore.
Tottenham tweeted this out, a quote from Sonny at his unveiling of the mural, saying, "It's a special feeling. I hope the legacy never goes away and will forever stay with Spurs." Asked Sonny after seeing his mural for the first time. And look, those legacies never die. European trophy, you know.
Yep.
That's there forever.
There are players still coming to Tottenham, you know, as legends from the 80s, 70s, off the back of winning that trophy.
Yeah.
That's how much it means to this football club. So regardless of, I mean, put to one side, he's one of our best ever players and how good of attacker. It's just being captain of winning that trophy, you know, puts you in that status just with that alone. But you put on top of that, what a goal scorer he was. Well, you know, probably one of our best players ever.
Most assists.
You know, most assists in the Premier League. This guy does never have to do anything in Tottenham ever again. He's probably got free drinks, free meals. Everyone just wants him back here.
Yeah. Fully part of the Spurs history forever. Etched into the history books for Tottenham Hotspur.
People have his face tattooed on their bodies, I've seen. It's crazy.
Exactly. Alex Kyriakou came up to us.
Yeah, amazing. He's got a tattoo of Sonny lifting that trophy.
Yeah, as many people do. He's not the only one. So many people do. So Mari7 with that same Sonny and Vicario hug. This next one from Dahlia07 saying the Sonny at the end of the match. So, yeah, we didn't realise actually Sonny was just sitting directly above us the whole game. And at the end, we kind of saw him. Everyone had their eyes on
Everyone's like looking
the middle
up,
stand.
okay,
And Sonny's just there clapping. And he was there for a while, just clapping the fans, taking it all in. He was getting quite emotional and, just waving and clapping to his adoring fans.
Yeah, you can see him meant a lot to him. He just wanted to take every second in, and he didn't want to waste a second. So that was a lovely moment from him. He just seemed like royalty. I mean, he is royal. He's Tottenham royalty, but it was like it was like if the Queen's off her balcony just waving to her adoring fans. It was brilliant.
Yeah, so much love for Sonny at the stadium yesterday. It was a sight to behold. Football TNT, Maddison hugs. I wonder if that was the last time they saw each other. No, it can't have been. The last time they saw each other, he's probably doing his ACL.
Yeah. Don't know if Maddison was as emotional this time, but you can definitely see how glad he is to see Sonny back. Look at that. That hug was a long time. He didn't want to let go, did he, Maddison?
No, he didn't.
Oh, lovely.
I don't know if you noticed yesterday, but because the Sonny thing was before kickoff, I felt like they screwed up the Champions League music a little bit because they were running a bit late. Because they did the Champions League music when walkout. Usually the Champions League music is
before.
only, you know what I mean?
They did do that, and then they bring up. Yes,
and the Spurs was all screwed up yesterday as well.
I think they didn't quite get that right.
Yeah.
But they didn't really make it too. I actually thought it was quite cool with the Champions League music coming out when the players were coming out.
Yeah. Spurs Army, Sonny tries to blame Archie for not messaging him, but in fact the other way around. So this was a funny moment with Archie and Sonny yesterday.
No one text.
Yeah, he said not one text.
No one text. No one text.
I got it today.
Do you want me to explain why no one text?
See, he's saying Son has a new number. I'd say he doesn't have the new number.
Sonny never gave Archie his new number. What a
He said
disgrace.
you can DM me on Instagram. And he said you've closed your DMs. He's probably outed Sonny there. He's probably done it dirty. I love that. But you know what? Sonny went for Archie first. But I love that. Look at that. Love that release. What's he eating there? Is that pizza? Oh, what, not on a diet, Archie? I love that. But no, not one text. You go get your private jet to LA, Archie. Come on.
Football tweet, another one of Maddison and Sonny. That's a great still image, isn't
lovely.
it?
It's like a romantic picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that. Maddie Son.
Exactly. Rising Stars 11 says Javi Simmons in the last 2 matches, 2 man of the matches, 2 goals, 1 assist. He has arrived.
Yeah, and he didn't get man of the match against Copenhagen as well, even though he went off after
Yeah,
like
he
50
did.
minutes.
Yeah, he did.
So he's starting to get those that consistency. Hopefully, obviously he's been quite good in the Champions League overall.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I think everyone's getting very excited about it. He's really showing what he can do.
Yeah. Men in Blazers saying Sonny signing his mural in the happiness Tottenham fans deserve. Is the happiness Tottenham fans deserve.
100%. He looks delighted with it. There you go. There's his complicated signature.
Exactly. I look at his signature every time and I realise, how does he get it the exact same every time? It's the most complicated signature I've ever seen.
The man has accuracy.
Yeah.
We've seen the accuracy for over a decade. Come on. You know what the guy, once he puts something, his mind to something, he can get it bang on every time. Just like how the hell does he score for 25 yards in the top corner every single time?
True.
Same thing.
I think his signature's harder.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
Football on TNT says Son Heung-min enjoyed the perfect homecoming at Tottenham Hotspur. What do you think it was like for him being the first time in the stadium and just like as a fan, as a spectator, just watching the game? Do you reckon he was itching to get on the pitch?
Oh, for sure. He probably felt I would have shot there.
Yeah.
I would have passed there 100%. Get me back on. There he goes. Didn't look too impressed with the penalty.
Yeah.
He looks happy though. Nice little clap.
Yeah. Tottenham Academy. So Spurs Academy beat the Slavia Prague Academy. Was it 9-1 yesterday?
9-1.
And Luka Williams-Barnett scored 5 goals in the game. And look what celebration is catching on in the academy. Not the Sonny celebration anymore. No. It's our new number 7.
Tynan Thompson as well. Got a brace, I think.
Yeah.
Or a brace, maybe. He also scored a couple of nice goals. Yeah, it looks as like it's really catching catching fire. I wonder if we're going to start to see it around Europe with some younger players as well.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the better Javi does.
What's the bit at the top?
I don't know. Maybe an old-fashioned phone thing? I don't know.
An old-fashioned phone? I don't know. I don't know what that bit at the top is. Crown? Is it a crown?
No idea.
I don't know. But the goals they were scoring, by the way. Do you see Luka Williams' goals? Oh,
fantastic.
Luka Williams-Barnett. He was on the bench somehow. He scored 5 goals and made the bench for the game later on.
Yeah, I know. A few of them as well. It wasn't just him.
Would have been great if I would have seen him come on. But some of the goals he's scoring, left foot, right foot, he looks a level above, man.
Yeah.
He looks a level above that level.
And he's younger than everyone as well.
It's
by
madness. Everyone's so excited about him. Hopefully we get to see him.
Luka Williams-Barnett at that age level was doing so much better than what Mikey Moore was doing. And Mikey Moore was doing like fantastic things, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it seems just too easy for him.
Be interesting to see what we do with Luka Williams-Barnett next season, because this year, look, he's got a good thing going on, keep smashing out this kind of age level. But next season, does he go on loan? Is he part of the first team? Like, what do we do with him next season?
Well, Frank's whole thing was developing young players. I guess it depends. Well, this season we've decided to send everyone out on loan, haven't we? Whereas last season we obviously kept Mikey with us. Lancashire was here for a bit before sending him out on loan. This year we're like, look, everyone's going out. So if we follow that, it'll probably, I don't know, 17 too young? Could be. Or do we do what, obviously there's what Pep did with
well, he's
Foden.
17 now, right? Next year he'll be 18.
He's 17 now. Or he was 16 like a few months, he just turned 17.
So at some point next season he'll be turning 18.
And then at that point, maybe a loan deal would be all right.
Spurs Express saying all 8 of Tottenham wins in all comps since Javi signed have been with him in the starting 11. So I brought you the stats that it's 10 games Javi has started, 7 wins in that time frame. Since he's joined, he's played, not started 9 games, and we haven't won any of those games. It's a mad stat.
Just get him, just never drop him. We can't afford to drop him.
Yeah. Spurs Express saying Tottenham legend Gareth Bale has admitted that he would have attended the Europa League final as a fan if he hadn't been asked by TNT Sport to be part of their punditry team for the match. There's the Welsh Mafia. Where's Joe Roden? But
TNT Sport...
they screwed us.
They screwed us from a legendary moment. You could have rejected it, Gareth. Come on. You could have rejected it.
But
Had a seat next to us.
yeah, I don't know if did you see Gareth Bale's message to Sonny as well?
Yeah, lovely stuff.
You know, the way Gareth Bale talks about Spurs is heartwarming, man. Because he always says us and we and this kind of stuff. So it's great to hear.
Drew, whose decision do you reckon it wasn't for him to stay on after that
For the loan?
season? Do you reckon it was more him or Spurs?
Well, we changed management, didn't we? Because Mourinho...
Nuno came in.
Because, yeah.
Mourinho said Bale was too focused on golfing. He never started in any of the big games, did he?
Maybe it was just the hierarchy didn't want to pay the wages.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. But he went back to Madrid and barely
Because
played.
that period at Spurs is like a lot of people look at it and being like, look, the guy wasn't good enough. He's past his best. Look, which he was past his best, but he scored a hell of a lot of goals. And against the best opposition, he wasn't great, but against the kind of like mid oppositions, like below the top 2 or top 3, I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah, he was scoring goals for fun in those games. And I think in the Premier League, I think he scored like 11 goals or something.
Yeah.
And he had the best goals to minute ratio in the whole Premier League, I think, that season. That, I think, goes to show how little he played. But I think we could have kept him on as like a squad player.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he ended up going to the MLS, didn't he?
And said we replaced him with Brian Hill.
Yeah. Great stuff.
Great stuff, Tottenham.
Lily White Rose saying, so 47,281 at Spurs last night. What would the attendance been if it had not been Sonny's return? None of the season ticket holders around me in the South Stand purchased their seats at an additional £60 on top of their £1,300 season tickets.
It's also a problem. Pay a lot of money and you're expected to pay extra for the Champions League as well.
But like £60 to sit in the South Stand for Slavia Prague at home is way too much.
It should be, 100%.
It should be half that.
After you've paid for a season ticket as well, like, you should get maybe a discount for a season or something. Like, why are you expected to just pay full price?
Whatever happened to the package deals that they used to do for the group stages? Then those were like really well priced.
They were so popular. I remember at Wembley they did them. They used to do them.
They did them at the old White Hart Lane, I think, as well.
Lane.
I think they did them the first year back in the new stadium as well. I can't remember.
I hope they have really good consultation and just learn from what's happening right now, because there's no reason why the stadium shouldn't be full, even for those games.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
100%. And like, it's such a good opportunity at times like this to get younger fans in there and bring the families. I know it's an 8 o'clock kickoff at night, but still, it's a big opportunity.
Exactly. So I think they've got to realise what the problems are in their pricing model, why the stadium is empty as it is, and actually learn from it, not do the same mistakes again, and not just try and squeeze every last penny out of this fan base. If they drop the price by £20 or whatever, they're not going to lose that out on that much. They're not going to have 15,000 empty seats.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Come on.
Paul O'Keefe says, 10 days is a long time in football. After Fulham, I questioned the leaders and hunger in that dressing room, and Frank was being pelted in every direction. 3 unbeaten might not have totally turned the tide, but it's the reaction we all wanted. Small steps. And yeah, I think that's pretty spot on.
I think that's fair. Like, I'm not expecting the world to change in a few games, but we just wanted to see improvements. We want to see what he's trying to implement on the pitch, and we're seeing that now. So that's really positive. Like, even if we don't beat Forest, as long as we're showing attacking intent, we're showing intent to create chances. Like, that is all we can ask for. So that's what we want to see. Well, I guess away from home is a bit different, because I don't really mind us being a bit more pragmatic away from home. But
yeah, and we can't really complain about our away form.
Yeah, but at home we just need to. This is what we want to see.
Yeah, and it's fantastic that we're starting to see it now. Men in Blazers, Son Heung-min says thank you and farewell to the Tottenham fans, and vice versa. And the one quote that they bring up says, "This will always be my home," and he's damn right.
It
always will be his home.
His club. Yeah, always welcome back here, Sonny. Miss him already.
I know. I just can't believe we're never going to get like this kind of moment again. You know what I mean? Cody Mack says, first point away to Newcastle since 2021. Best performance of the season versus Brentford. Comfortable Champions League win versus Slavia Prague. Conclusion, booing works.
Should be booing after every bag game. Well, maybe Cody's got a point. Maybe we're too harsh on the booers.
Don't know about that.
Vicario hasn't made a mistake since.
It's true. Spurs Global says Tottenham are now unbeaten in their last 23 European games at home. Haven't conceded a goal in Europe at home this season either.
Great, maybe we'll keep that up for the whole campaign.
But let's be real. In the last 20... Well, what has the quality of opposition been in those 23 games?
It could have been better. And we haven't lost since Leipzig, I think, in 2019 or 2020.
So you had Milan. Who else have we had?
Marseille, Sporting. What are they called? Marseille, Sporting, and Frankfurt. Had a bunch of Europa League nonsense. We had RZ, Boda, Frankfurt again.
They were part of the Europa League nonsense.
Nah, quality, mate, quality. We've had Villarreal this season.
Yeah.
Slavia and Copenhagen.
So no one really topped it. It's just been kind of like the mid-range European teams.
Pretty much.
But still,
Unbeaten,
23 games though is decent. Tottenham Hotspur tweeted this out. Captains past and present. Romero loved seeing Sonny yesterday, didn't he? Oh, they love seeing each other.
Hope he didn't get his nice coat too sweaty. Was this before the game?
I think it's after.
After the game.
Yeah.
Love that.
No context Tottenham. A bit of a game for you guys here now. Where's Solanke?
Okay, do you reckon you can find him?
I can't find him, mate. You know what? I've been looking at. I looked at this picture before. I looked at it for about an hour. Still couldn't find him.
Maybe he's
actually, to be fair, we did see him yesterday.
We did see him, yeah. To be fair, but he's. Frank said there's no setback with him.
Yeah.
Leaving?
No setback, and he's been taken out the team, the squad.
Yeah, but he said he can return to the squad. I'm guessing he means for the knockouts.
Yeah.
Do you believe that there's been no setback? Is this just the natural?
No setback since when though?
Maybe since the surgery. Maybe this has always been the plan. But he keeps like implying he's going to be nearly back.
Yeah.
So how can he be nearly back and then all of a sudden it's like 3 months later?
I know.
So there must have been some sort of setback.
It just depends when he's talking about no setback since yesterday, setback since last week. There's definitely been a setback from when he said in the first international break that he'll be back. Second international break he'll be back. Third international break he said this is a big international break for him. So there's definitely been setbacks since then.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I don't know if he's just trying to. I don't know what he's trying to do. But the whole situation is very frustrating.
Yeah. So this from Data NB saying Premier League midfielders successful dribbles and Javi Simmons is sitting top of the list.
Which is surprising, isn't it?
I thought Kudus would be top.
Well, he's not midfielder.
Oh, is he? Okay, fine.
He's a winger. Well, I don't know. It's kind of, Sarr and Pino go in as midfielders. But I guess they play a bit central. There's no wingers really there.
I would still classify Sarr and Pino as
I would as well. I don't know. But they're playing kind of attacking midfield rather than out wide, I guess, is the argument.
But also, what you got to look at, he's probably started one of the least out of all the players on this list.
Yeah, so probably per 90, he must be well ahead.
Yeah.
In more than Rodgers is surprising, because Rodgers is, really strong and he gets a lot of good dribbles. So the fact that Simmons is above them.
And they're quite clear past the rest. Like, the next is Josh King, who I think is a very good player. He's on 20, and then you got Rodgers on 26 and Javi on 28.
Comparing him to Gibbs White and Eze, who are two of the players we nearly signed.
Exactly.
Well clear of them.
Exactly.
We got
it all worked out.
Let it all work out.
Tottenham tweeting these lovely images together again. There's Sonny and Richie.
Why didn't Sonny do the pigeon with him?
Sonny and Danso. Sonny and Pedro. And there's Sonny and Archie. Lovely pictures.
Beautiful, beautiful hugs.
Is there just like one man that just unifies everyone as Sonny does?
Definitely not.
It's like not even Kane would do that.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you'd see him like interacting with the squad and stuff, but it wouldn't be as passionate as that.
Kane had the respect of everyone, but Son has the love of everyone.
Yeah, and respect.
And respect as well. You're right about that.
Bleacher Report says Spurs' top scorer in the Champions League this season is own goal.
What a player. What a player. So what, against Boda? Against
Copenhagen.
Villarreal?
Oh, not Villarreal. Yeah.
and now yesterday.
Did Copenhagen not won as well?
Don't think so. What a player. Own goal. Maybe own goal can take us to the
we
Champions
need
League.
to sign him down on a contract. That's the reality.
Definitely. I think if own goal keeps this up, we can win the Champions League.
Yeah, absolutely. Give Me Sport says Son reunited with Spurs teammates. So we've seen all those images apart from the Ben Davis one. Look at that Maddison and Sonny one. They look like about to go in for a kiss.
So they're in a. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful friendship.
Billy T. So there was a tweet from Football Tweet saying, the flop that nobody's talking about, Javi Simmons. Well, let's talk about it for a minute. To be blunt, he fits the stereotype of a typical Spurs player. Lightweight, off the pace, hesitant and lacking aura or presence. He certainly doesn't resemble a £51 million signing. Yet another expensive import from the Bundesliga, struggling to adapt to the intensity of the Premier League. Well, fast forward to the present day. 3 man of the matches down, 2 goals and an assist in his last 2 games.
This guy ain't no flop. Go back in your hole, mate. Football Tweet. Just trying to get engagement to try and create this narrative that he's rubbish, he's going to flop. You do one. I hate these engagement farming accounts who just basically the whole. Apart from Hater Central, I love Hater Central. but apart from
that is literally the whole thing you're talking about.
But they do it in a funny way. All the other ones who just post these tweets just to basically shit on players all the time and get them to everyone to pile in on it just does my head in. Look, I get it. I mean, it's not going to stop. And I'm not saying you should ban them, but I don't know why I have such a big follower account.
If you hate it so much, you probably shouldn't be on X.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
Tottenham tweeted this out. Sonny outside his mural yesterday doing the exact same pose as the mural's doing. Great picture of that. StatMuse saying Spurs' last 23 European games at home, 18 wins, 13 clean sheets, plus 50 goal difference, 0 losses. 13 clean sheets in 18 games.
Fortress.
In 18 wins, sorry.
18 wins, yeah. Absolute fortress of the Tottenham Stadium in Europe. That's what European heritage gets you.
Exactly.
Some clubs wouldn't know.
Yeah, a lot of clubs wouldn't know. Particularly not many in North London.
That's what I'm talking about. Some clubs in North London wouldn't know. Or South London.
Yeah. No clubs in South London know about it. Tottenham tweeted this out, post-match chats with Sonny, and this was funny stuff yesterday. So obviously you've got him and Cuti Romero embracing each other. And then
he goes over to him.
Then he goes over to Richarlison. And just check what Richarlison says to him. Here it is.
Goes over to Richie.
You say, you wouldn't have won the Europa League without me.
He said, hey, this guy's a trophy because of me. Because of Brennan. So I was like, hey, because of Brennan. Brilliant. Yeah, if I was man of the match in this, that'd be fine. Richie hanging on to that one. Love it.
You can always trust Rishi for comments like that. Khalid saying great to meet the legends by the Spurs mural yesterday.
Big up to Khalid. There was a lot of people when we went to the mural. We became part of the attraction at some point. There was a queue asking for pictures. That was brilliant. But yeah, big up to everyone who was asking for pictures and was at the mural.
Yeah, big up to each and every one of you. Here's best friends reunited.
Great picture.
Sonny and Ben Davis. Ben Davis is just looking like, look, I speak to you every day, but Sonny's like, but not in person.
Come on. Get excited.
Cuti Romero tweeted this out yesterday. Another massive home win. Everyone put in a proper shift. Good to see you again, legend. We missed you a lot, hermanito.
Love that. Do you reckon he's ever used the word proper shift?
I was just thinking that.
Do you reckon
he's getting the English lingo, isn't he?
I love it. Proper shift.
Did his first English interview on Sky Sports not long ago.
Yeah. He's getting better. He's taking that responsibility.
Yeah.
He's putting in a proper shift.
I saw that responsibility from him yesterday. This was great, the Kudos celebration yesterday.
Yeah, everyone was getting the stalls out. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Ball Boy, or the social media girl, was in overdrive yesterday, just handing out stalls left, right, and centre.
It's a great picture.
Yeah.
Love it. Everyone get in on the act.
Blue Deer says, I think I'll miss you forever, like the stars miss the sun in the morning sky. It's a bit of a poet, Blue Deer.
Yeah. Love it. Look at that. Oh. Another great moment.
Oh, man. SZY comps his Javi's celebration with the fans in the background. That was great.
Something iconic. There's a fan there doing it. Fantastic.
I was doing it as well in the stadium. Jake Sanders says all 8 of Tottenham wins in comps has been since Javi Simons signed, have been with him in the starting 11.
And yeah, that's it. Pretty much. Well, we've seen it already.
Yeah, the rest are just Sonny at the mural. What's this one?
What's this?
What are you cooking here?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. XG was 2.55 and we scored 3 goals but 2 penalties and no goals from open play. Absolutely ridiculous stat. XG is absolute rubbish and skewed stat, most pointless stat ever created. What's he trying to say?
I don't really know, to be honest.
That we weren't good enough to score 3 goals yesterday? We probably were. We created enough chances. It can be skewed in a one-off game, but the reality is, over a long stretch of time, XG always plays out. The stats prove it. If you look at all the top teams at the end of a season, they're always top of the XG list, and the worst teams are always bottom of it. So unless he's saying that's just a completely wild coincidence that the XG plays out that way, I don't know how you can say it's a stupid and irrelevant stat.
But I don't know what he's trying to say. Was he saying that we weren't good enough for a 3-0 win yesterday? Does he saying because...
I guess he's saying the penalties skew the XG numbers, which I guess is true because without the penalties it's probably maybe like 1.5 or 1.
Yeah, but Danny's whole thing was that he judges it on chances created. On eye test, right? 6 big chances. Exactly, we had 6 big chances yesterday.
So what's the point? Yeah, I don't know what the point is. He's saying no goals from one place. Is he saying we were not good enough?
He's just sent in a super chat saying, "Sim, that's how good our attack. Own goal is top goal scorer."
But Danny, what are you trying to say? Are you trying to say that we weren't good enough to win 3-0 and that the XG is skewed in a way that doesn't show how bad we were? Is that what you're trying to say?
I have no idea what he's trying to say.
I do agree with him in a sense that if you do look at XG just over one game, it can be skewed 100%. A team can have one shot and be on the goal line and have a really high XG, and another team can have like 10 chances, all fairly low, and have a low XG, and it might imply that the other team were better. But
it's all over a long period of time.
You have to look at it. You have to look at it over a long
Take
period of
Sonny
time.
for an example. It just shows how good his finishing is because he always consistently overperforms his XG.
If you look at it over consistent time, even usually a whole season, you look at the XG, there will be occasionally some outliers, but overall, your XG pretty much lines up with your league position. How much you concede, how much you score. That's usually how it plays out. There's a few differences, but it's not a coincidence. It's not luck that happens. It's because that's usually determines how good of a team you are. I think it's a pretty good predictor and determiner. Now, over little periods and over one game, 100% they can be skewed, and you have to look at the context of all of that. But over a season, usually it plays out. So I don't understand the argument of it's rubbish or it doesn't mean anything. I think it's a pretty good stat.
Yeah, but also in this game we created, I think the actual stat was 2.75 XG, which was given, and we scored 3 goals.
Yeah. So same with against Brentford, we had like a 2 XG and we scored 2 goals, so it can line up as well. Like,
we should have scored more in both games, in my opinion. But on the score lines and the XG, they reflected each other, both games.
Exactly, so it was pretty accurate. So I don't know what his point is. I don't know why I think he just hates the name. I think he just doesn't like the name expected goals. If it was called Big Chance Predictor, I think he might be on for it. I don't know. I don't know why people are so against the stat.
Yeah.
I don't know why it causes so much uproar. I think it's just the name. I think expected goals people don't like. They think it's a stupid name or so. I don't know. I think that's the only thing I can think why people don't like it.
Yeah. But look, if you just use it for what it is and just a metric to judge how good quality chances you're getting in each game, then it's
a better, for me, it's just a better metric than like shots on goal or shots on target, because that doesn't tell you as much as XG.
Yeah.
Because you can have 10 shots on target. If they're all from the halfway line, what does it tell you? Nothing really.
Yeah, exactly. So there you have it, people. That is how the internet did react to the game yesterday, and we'll see you again very, very soon, people. Tomorrow is another day and full of Tottenham content for you guys. But thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.